Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name's Brian if you're new around here, and per request from Rust King, thanks so much for asking for this video. I'm showing you guys my current healer build, which is not perfect and should not necessarily point you to endgame. You're going to see why here in just a minute. So per their request about how I play this game, I typically play two roles right now, tank or healer. And I am feeling much more confident in tank, but when you see me do videos, actually I'm doing a lot of healing as well, but I'm still also leveling up healing, still learning a lot about it. So this video in and of itself is at best a primer. If you guys have any tips and tricks for me, like let me know. Like, it's going to be a conversation. Feel free to lean in, feel free to help in that regards, or just cast utter judgment. I'll leave my fate into your hands. But ideally, this will hopefully get you kind of started as a part of healing, get you some information about New World and what you need to do, what you need to think of, and also talk about why I'm making certain decisions that I'm making based off of my current goals in the game. So just note that there's a little bit of a disclaimer. Thanks so much for being here. Let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to start with gear in this regards. Obviously, life staff is the key to being a healer in this game. We'll go over the skill tree here in just a second. Now, note that you'll see this life staff is actually desynced. You can go buy stuff and awesome things off the market. So if you're not level 60, note there's going to be a wide range of gear. You're going to need a life staff. You could also do Void Gauntlet as it has a healing capacity. So if you're really going for that pure healer build, life staff Void Gauntlet might be a really good choice for you and your playstyle. I'm taking Sword and Shield, namely for the defense and the survivability, but also as I'm, whether I'm doing solo or whether I'm, playing with a group of friends, it's nice to be able to do some melee. And you'll see I've got some strength stats. So note that my stats and everything is a little bit inefficient at the moment. But when we talk about the gear, you can see here, I'm trying to focus as the key stat, with Constitution as being my second stat. And with the gear, if you have yet to hit that expertise level, note that it will sink it down a little bit. So this gear is a little better, but ultimately I still have a little bit more work to do on my expertise, clearly, that you can see here in that regards. So also the secondary stat that I'm trying to prioritize is Constitution. However, that's not always going to be the case. Here's a dexterity focus build. That's what was affordable. That was what I could afford with the money that I have currently in the game. Now, from a trinkets, I got a couple strengths. I'm not pointing in that direction, but you can see here, I actually have a really nice piece, 24 focus with a calming, a gem that's helping me to generate less threat while I'm actually healing in the dungeon. So that essentially is doing exactly what it wants. Interesting though, my sword, I could probably swap it out for a better sword. I'd have to go look in my inventory. It does have a gem to help me generate threat. So a healer tank, if you will, so to speak. So hopefully that gives you some idea. Now check that I am also in light. This is what you want your equipment level to be light. This is going to give you that increased stamina. You're going to have that increased roll. You're also going to deal 20% damage and have a 30% bonus to healing. And so if you guys don't know, when you're in light, you actually get a dodge roll, and that actually is going to make it easier to get out of obviously dodge. So that's actually very important. But that 30% healing buff is actually also really important, especially for a healer. Now I know I'm going to probably get raked over the coals here. I'm rocking 250 focus, 95 constitution. You can see here I've got other strengths. The color of the stat is essentially going to tell you exactly where it's coming from. You can also look at putting in some food to kind of help bolster up your focus and more. If you actually can get to 300 focus based off your stats, you're going to get 15. When your mana is 15 or less, you're going to gain 200% mana regen for 10 seconds. So note that's actually could be, if you're struggling with mana, then 300 focus is going to be what you want. But I went with 250, namely because I get 30 mana on any self or group kill, and then fishing, which is not necessarily relevant to this. And if you could actually get a little bit more constitution, you can increase your max health by 10%. That's obviously just here focusing it on survivability. Now, weapon mastery, why I say this is not a be-all end-all. I haven't finished leveling up my life staff. Again, this is a video per request. Rush King, hopefully you get something good out of it. I'm focusing in on the healing tree currently. That does not mean I won't go in here, but to show you what I've got Absolved, Life Staffs, Light and Heavy attacks no longer consume mana. Then I also take Blissful Touch. Light attacks now heal for 16% weapon damage when passing through an ally. I'm going to take and get all of this. Usually I like to try to get all the trees as soon as possible, but I did want my Divine Blessing. When you heal an ally 50% health, or when they're below 50%, they actually get healed for 30% more. But Splash of Light, when you're in all group members within 100 meters, are healed for 60% of the weapon damage. And then you can actually enhance this a couple times where you, for each ally healed that's below 50% health, you gain 5% of your max mana back. And then also Splash of Light removes 1 debuff when heals an ally. So that could actually be very valuable. I love Sacred Ground. I think this is almost required. Creates an area on the ground within a 3-meter radius that lasts 12 seconds. Allies in the area are healed for 16% weapon damage every second. Regenerate stamina and mana 50% faster while in Sacred Ground. And Blessed, when allies are in Sacred Ground, they are healed for 50% more from all healing. And then Divine Embrace, heal the target for 120% weapon damage. Then you can say Divine Embrace now costs 20 mana. If your target is below 50% health, heal 1 additional ally within 8 meters the same amount. And if an ally is healed by Sacred Struggle, is below 50% health, heal another ally within 8 meters of that ally. Now, the only other perk that I have unlocked so far is Enhanced Justice. When hit in battle, activate a healing aura for you and nearby friends in a 4-meter radius. The aura heals for 8% weapon damage each second for 6 seconds with a cooldown of 2 minutes. It's got a 2-minute cooldown, not ultimately the, perhaps the best, but that's currently what I've decided to select. So, at its core, now, if you want to talk about the other perks that I didn't choose, heavy attacks now remove 1 debuff when passing through an ally. That could be huge. Especially if you're really rocking that, that healing build. Then you have Revitalize. When you hit and a light attack, reduce life staff ability cooldowns by 5%. Then when you hit with a heavy attack, gain a stack of 10% bonus of healing effectiveness for 10 seconds. Then Sacred Protection. While holding the life staff, increase the amount of incoming healing to all friendlies in your group by 5%. And then when you heal an ally below 50% health, life staff ability cooldowns are reduced by 10%. Can only be triggered once every 5 seconds. So on the Protector tree, you get Orb of Protection, shoot a light projectile that grants 10% Fortify for 20 seconds, heals an ally for 10% of weapon damage, and deals 146 weapon damage when it hits an enemy. Fortify reduces incoming damage. You can also take Light's Embrace, heal the target for 80% weapon damage, plus 30% more for each buff on the target. And then you also have Beacon, shoot out a light projectile that deals 146 weapon damage to enemies, attaches to its target, and heals all nearby allies for 16%. This is also something I've played around with and actually really enjoy. Ultimately, I'll decide as I kind of play, the different roles, what finally I just choose. But if you've been watching me play videos and heal, this is generally what I'm doing. Again, I'm sure I'm going to get teared to shreds. That is just the nature of the internet. But hopefully this gives you a little bit of something to play with. Don't be afraid to play, and experiment with what you're doing in the game, because it's going to give you the best opportunity to have fun, and especially if you're playing with friends. Now, again, if you haven't used the market boards here in the game, note that you can easily come in here, go to weapons, magical weapons, let's say life staff. Check can equip and can afford. That's going to help reduce the amount of things that you need. If you're looking for specific perks on the weapon, you can do so. If you're looking for specific gems, you can do so. And then you can even sort by various prices or even gear sets in that regard, like a gear score. So if you're looking for things that you can actually then see the perk. So ultimately, especially when it comes to gear and more like that, see what you can afford. Obviously, try to focus in on various different terms. When you see the concept of Sage is going to kind of tell you, hey, that's your focus stat. Like whenever you see of the, etc., you'll start to learn that they actually represent things. Kind of if I go back in here. Zealot, focus and strength. This is Cleric, focus and constitution. So of the Sage, focus. So you'll start to see, and you can start to search for the specific stat maybe that you need to kind of have focusing in on. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. And Rust King, I hope you have fun with your friend playing tonight. And congratulations on hitting level 42. Looking forward to seeing how you feel about this guide, and then as you hit level 60 and more. Obviously, clearly, I still got plenty of leveling to do, but I'm enjoying healing in this game. I'm enjoying tanking in this game. I'm just freaking enjoying this game. Anyway, guys, thanks for your time. Hopefully you have a great day. Hopefully I'll see you next time. But until then, take care.
Yeah. It's time to chill out on the couch and read some comments. That's right. You know me when it comes to Destiny. I'm off with the clan, and I'm glad you're feeling better. Oh yeah.